Good morning, all. In today's session of operating system, we'll be seeing the next set of Linux commands. In the previous session, already we have seen about what is an echo, what is a path, what is a script, what is a man command, what is a who command, uname, password, date, and printf. Now, in today's class, we'll be seeing about PWD. PWD is nothing but your print working directory. And this particular directory, if you want to know the current working directory where you are in, you can just go for using the command PWD. And it gives you the total path starting from your root directory to the present directory which you are working in. We move on to the next command here, which is nothing but CD, stands for change directory. If you want to go from one directory to other directory, for example, if this is a path or the current directory which you are in, and in the current directory you want to change this to pictures, then you can simply write cd pictures. But if you want to go to a directory which doesn't belong to that particular existing path, you have to specify the total path of the directory which you want to move. Additional to this, we can simply type cd, which will enable the user to go to the home folder. Cd dot dot, you can move one directory up. Cd hyphen, which will make you to move to your previous directory. Now we have the next command here, which is nothing but ls. ls command in Linux is used to list the content of the directory. You want to know what are all the files that are present in your directory. So in that case, you can go for using ls. And we have different options in your ls directory, which is nothing but ls-r, which will list all the files and the subdirectories. And if you want to list the files according to the size specified, you can use ls yes. And if you want that information about each and every file, the size or type of the file, you can go for using ls-al and ls-a in order to display the hidden files of the directory. Now we'll see the next command, which is nothing but your touch command. This touch command is used for creating a new empty files, and if you want to create a new empty file, you can write touch and the name of the file you want to create with an extension. If this file does not exist, it creates a new file to you, and if the file exists, it will just give you the content of the, it will just create a file, only the access and the modification time will be changed, but the content of it will be as it is. If you want to go for creating multiple files, you can go for using touch and specify all the files which you want to create separated with a space. You can even go for changing the timestamp allotted to that particular file, and there are different times that are being specified to a file: access time, modification time, and change time. As we all know, the operations that we can perform on a file are nothing but read. You can even go for writing the content to a file, which we call it as modification, and we can even change the permissions related to a file. So each of these times can be called as A time, M time, and C time. Now we'll see how to change the time. If I want to change the access time, that means read time, I need to use -a. And if I want to change the write time of a file, I need to write it as M. And you want to specify the your own time, right? So for that, I need to go for using -t. So touch is my command. -m means I want to modify my modification time. -t and specify the timestamp. And when you see this particular number, it is related to July 4, 2023, 9:30 a.m. So 2023 is your year, July 07, 4 is your date, and 9:30 is nothing but the time at which you want to change the modification time on which file, new file.txt. We have the next command here, which is nothing but mv. mv here stands for moving or renaming the files. Now if you want to move a file, you have to specify the source as well as the destination. So mv, this is the path of your source and this is the path of your destination. So the file.txt will be moved from source folder to destination folder. And you can even go for moving multiple files at a time, where we'll write it as MV file1.txt, file2.txt will be moved into your destination folder. I can even go for renaming a file using MV command, where MV I specify my old file name followed by the new file name, both of them separated with a space. Next command we have in Linux is rm. It is used for remove. So you want to delete the files and the directories. So this particular command will be used rm, and you specify the name of the file you want to delete. And you can even go for deleting multiple files and specify all the files separated with a space. If I want to delete a directory, as we all know, directory is nothing but a folder, and that folder can contain subfolders or files. So you want to totally delete the directory, so it has to be done recursively. So -r is the command which is used for recursively deleting the contents of that particular directory. And since you are deleting the contents, you want an alert message to be displayed. So for that, we go for using rm-i. So it tells us that you are deleting this particular file, because once the file is deleted, you will not be able to get it back. And you don't want any confirmation before deleting a file. You want to forcibly delete a file, then you can go for using -f. And we already discussed R stands for recursive deletion of all the subdirectories and the files present in the parent directory. Now we'll see how to create a directory. So when you want to create a directory, we go for using make directory, which is mkdir. Mkdir followed by the name of the directory when you want to create a single directory. And when you want to go for creating multiple directories, it is mkdir followed by the multiple directory names separated with a space. Sometimes you want to create even the parent directory. I want to create subdirectory, and even the parent directory. So in that case, you can go for using mkdir-p and the parent directory. Assume that parent directory is present and subdirectory is present. This is not present, even then it will be created. And when you are creating a directory, you want to even specify the permissions that are being given to that particular file. In that case, mkdir-m for permissions, and we have three numerical values associated, and these three numerical values are associated for one value for owner, one value for group, the other value for others. And 7 here indicates that if that for a owner, I want to have read permission, write permission, as well as execute permission also. The read, if I want to give the read permission, the value pertaining to read is 4. And if you want to give write permission to a file, the value pertaining to write is 2. And if you want to give an execute permission to a particular user, value is 1. So 4, 2, 1, when it's summed up, it is nothing but 7. So if you want to give all the three permissions, then the value will be 7. Assume instead of 7 here, I'll write a value 6. What does that 6 mean? You want to give a read permission, you want to give a write permission, and you don't want to give an execute permission. So the value here will be 4 and 2. If the value is 5, it indicates that you want to just give read permission and execute permission, where the value will be 401. Because for write, I don't want to give any permission, and for no permission, the value will be 0. So 0 to 7 are your numerical values or your octal values, and these are the values 00001. So when you go for 000 here, means that one bit for each value R, W, and X. So you don't want to give any permission, so it is 0. So here when you go for seeing RWX, my X value is 1, indicating that you want to give only execute permission. RWX, W value is 1, means that you want to write, and 010, the octal value is 2. So when you want to give all the permissions, it is 111, where it is 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is nothing but your 7. Now you want to go for removing the directory. So if you want to go for removing a directory here, RM we have already seen where it is removing the files present in it. Here you are removing a directory, and when you want to remove a directory, this particular command will remove the directory only when it is empty. So all the contents of the directory, all subdirectories are to be deleted, only then RMDIR will be working. If I just write rmdir followed by a directory name and you have some content in it, it will not be deleting your directory. And if you want to go for deleting multiple directories, each of the directory with a space. And if you want to if you want to delete the parent directory and the subdirectory is present in it, you need to go for using -p. And we have a command here which is nothing but tar, which stands for tape archive. Tape archive here is nothing but you want to group one or two files, more than one file into a single file. We'll go for tar, which is also called as tarball. So when you want to create an archive, the command here will be using it. Tar is the command, -c stands for create, and f is the file. And I'm specifying the name of my archive file, and even I'm specifying the input to my archive file. So the content of file 1, directory 1 and file 2, I want all these three things to be clubbed together into a single archive file, and the name of my archive file is archive_name.tar. If you want to extract the contents of the archive file which is already created, I need to go for using the command as *-xf, which is for extract and name of the file. If you want to just view the contents of the archive, what are all the directories or the files present in that, then it is *-tf and the name of your R file. And we have another command here, gzip, which is used for compressing the file. Gzip will be working on an individual file, whereas tar will be working on multiple files. Tar will not compress the data, but it will be just clubbing them together, whereas gzip will go for compressing the data. So if I just write gzip followed by mydoc.txt, the content in this particular file will be compressed using a compression algorithm, and size of the file will be reduced, and you get a new output file as mydoc.gz, and your original my.txt will be deleted. And we have various options associated with this gzip. If you want to forcibly compress a file, forcibly compressing in the sense example.txt is a file which I want to compress, but in the directory I have example.gx which is already there. So in that case, you are forcibly compressing the same file name. So you will be getting the same file name as example.gz, and the already existing file will be deleted. And if you want to keep both the compressed file and the uncompressed file or the original file, you just go for gzip-k, where example.txt will be present as well as example.gx will also be present. If you want to display the percentage of reduction, then you can write gzip-v example.txt, which will create a compressed file as well as it will display the percentage of reduction. If you want to see the decompressed file, you can go for writing gzip-d, and here the extension of the file should be .gz. We have the last command in this Linux commands of this today's session, which is nothing but cat. Cat stands for concatenate. And this particular command is used to read the content. It is used to combine your content and copy the content. If you want to display the contents, we have already seen ls command, where ls is just used for listing the files. Whereas here, I'm just want to view the content of the file. I will be writing it as cat and name of the file. If you want to concatenate or combine two files, we'll write cat followed by two file names. If you want to store the combined files into a third file, we can write it as file1.txt, file2.txt will be combined together and it will be stored in combined.txt. If I don't specify any of the thing, the content will be present in file2.txt. If you want to append the content to the existing file, we can write cat file2.txt, where the content of file2.txt will be appended to file1.txt, whereas the previous content of file1.txt will be as it is. If you want to go for creating a new file, it is cat and the name of the file, where it goes for creating a new file, and you can start typing your text, and whenever you're done with typing the text, you can just press Control D. If you want to display the line numbers of the file which is being displayed, you can specify it as cat-n. So these are all the list of commands which are present in Linux. So I want each one of you to execute these commands on your terminal and see what is the output that you are getting. These are not theoretical commands. These are for your practical things where each command is to be typed by you people and checked. Thank you all.